Podium and state your name and address for the record.
Gaurang Patel, 5033 Murfreesboro Road, 11.
All right. First question on my mind was, with this having been over 2 months since your permit actually expired, was there a valid reason for missing last month's meeting?
Actually, we get all the time, like if it's before the expire, we get the notice, and we never got it.
Okay. That was just one of the main questions in my mind. Don't believe we've had any problems out of this establishment that I'm aware of. Does anyone have any questions for Mr. Patel?
Not yet. I do not.
You do not.
I do not.
All right. Do we have a motion to renew his permit?
I'll make the motion to renew the permit.
I'll second. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you.
All right, on to new business. Motion to penalize, revoke, or suspend the beer permit for the Laverne Discount Tobacco and Beer Store located at 500 Waldron Road, Suite 400, for selling beer to a person under the age of 21. Before I have a representative come to the podium, I would like to hear from the officer on exactly what happened. So, sir, if you'll please state your name and title for the record.
I'm Officer John Eubank, Laverne Police Department, Crime Suppression Unit.
Thank you, sir.
On March 10, 2009, we conducted a citywide operation in coordination with the ABC Board. It was titled Operation Young and Sober. The point of the operation was to basically get a list of all beer permit holders in the city of Laverne and basically target those that were selling alcohol to underage persons. On March 10, 2009, ABC, and like I stated before, in coordination with our unit, sent an underage informant, a 19-year-old informant, into the establishment. He was wearing video and audio recording equipment. He was able to purchase one 24-ounce Heineken beer. We came back to the business later on that evening and cited the cashier who was working the desk. His name is Joseph Salama. On September 30th, 2009, Mr. Salama pled guilty in General Sessions Court, and he was placed in the diversion program, and he received 11 months and 29 days of supervised probation. He was fined $250 and has 100 hours of public service to complete.
And this informant was showing a legitimate license at that time, his personal legitimate license?
Yes, ma'am, he was.
Okay. Do we have any other questions for the officer?
No.
No? All
Thank
right,
you.
thank you, sir. Now if we can have someone for the establishment approach the podium and state your name and address for the record.
Daniel Michael, I'm the owners. Beginning, I'm so sorry about these situations, and this first time for us. We opened business from 3 years ago, and I've been in business from almost 12 years ago in Nashville, Murfreesboro City, and Murfreesboro, Mount Juliet. I usually give my employee very good training for check the license. What happened is at this time, he already checked the license, but he got confused from the tobacco age and the beer age. But he already checked the license, but what I feeling sorry about, he got confused. Right now, we try if if somebody did this from my employee, he get fired. I never do something other fire. But this person, he's my partner. I'm so sorry about that too. And I got deal with him. If this happened again, he will get off my business. I will can change him to somebody else. Other thing, I'm going to change the process in the cash register to computer cash register. You have to ask him about the drive license and birthday before the cash register. Give him release to sell it beer. This is what I do it.
So I take it from your statement that you do admit that a minor was sold alcohol off your premises.
Yes.
Okay. I'm not sure if you've refreshed by rereading our ordinance, and I understand that this is your partner, but it is stated in our ordinance that someone who's been convicted of selling to a minor is not supposed to any longer work at the establishment.
Sure.
Do we have any other questions or comments?
Do you have the new cash registers installed?
Right now, not yet. You know, this is very expensive. I'm looking right now for somebody financial for me, but I'm sure we'll be beginning the year. I think we'll be ready.
As the chairman just noted,
Excuse me.
as the chairman just noted, no
Yeah.
one that has been convicted is supposed to work in your establishment.
Yes.
How are you going to approach that with a family member?
Yeah, he's my brother.
Mm-hmm.
No, but business is business, sir. Okay, right now, if he give me some hard time, I'm here right now for hard time. If he give me hard time, if he give me lose money, business is business.
Okay, so in other words, is his employment and working in the store going to be terminated immediately?
Yeah, this happened before with me in Murfreesboro City. I have one employment, he got a beer ticket, he got fired. Because I trained him so many hours for check the ID. I always teach him how to check the ID. I always teach him what's the difference between tobacco age and beer age. 21 years old for beer, 18 years for tobacco. And if he did mistake, human make mistake. But this is not, I understand this is not small mistake. I know. You trust me, you give me beer permit for sell it for the people over 21. And I have kids, and I don't like somebody give my kids drugs or somebody give my kids under 21 some beer. I understand that's really good. Because that I have very, very hard rules. If somebody did this in my store, he get fired. And this very thing I tell for anyone come and work with me. Sir, I give you good time for training, more than what you need. But if you don't feeling you are ready to sell as a customer, please go back. Just these my rules.
I think the point we're trying to make is though the city's rules are once they've been convicted, they can no longer be in your employ, or you may look at future punishments because you would be then again against the ordinance if you continue to employ someone who's been convicted for selling to minors. So that's what we're kind of trying to get across. That's not what we're looking at tonight. We're looking at the fact that selling to a minor happened in your establishment, which you admitted. Mr. Randall and I are both just trying to give you that forethought to re-look at our ordinance for Laverne. Do we have any other questions or comments? All right. Anyone care to make a motion?
Make a motion that Laverne,
Oh, I'm sorry, I need to stop you from that. one question I do need to ask you, have you ever applied to be a responsible vendor, or are you a responsible vendor through the state of Tennessee?
No, starts vendor.
Okay.
Madam Chairman, remember too, we need to handle it in two parts. First, okay.
I'd like to make a motion that Laverne Discount Tobacco has violated the ordinance. And
I'll second that motion. All those in favor?
aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right. On the motion that has been approved, that the establishment has offended our ordinance, I'd like to make a motion that due to the fact they are not responsible vendors, that a 14-day suspension with the possibility of a civil punishment of $1,500 in lieu of.
I second the motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right. So, Mr. Patel, for your understanding, you have been given the opportunity to either quit selling for 14 days or to come in during regular business hours within the next 7 days and pay a $1,500 fine to be able to continue selling. So you have 7 days to make that decision. Upon that 7th day, if you've not come in and paid the fine, then you would have to shut your coolers down for the next 14 days.
No, I will take $1,500.
Okay, and that can be paid any day here at City Hall during regular business hours during the next 7 days.
7 days. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate it for that, and I'm sorry for this situation.
Understood.
Thank you, Mr. Patel.
Okay, on to the next new business. Motion to approve or reject settlement offer for the pantry doing business as Kangaroo Express, store number 3613, against City of Laverne, doing business as the Laverne Beer Board. Do we have a representative here for that? Okay. Then make a motion that this is deferred to next month.
You can act on this if you probably should, actually.
Okay. So we can go ahead and make a
The offer is in the packets, what the settlement offer is.
okay.
I guess what we need to do is make a motion and then second and then discuss. Is that
Sure.
what we need to do?
Okay. Anyone care to make a motion one way or the other? I'll make the motion. I'll make a motion to reject the settlement offer and carry out with punishment rendered from the September 15th.
I'll second that.
Although, any discussion on that?
We've after hearing what our attorney has said, I think that the best thing for us to do is to stand our ground and pursue what we have voted and passed. I think that's the way that we need to go. I think looking at the cost that's incurred, that the city, or I guess the lack of cost that the city is going to directly incur, is something that has been taken into account. And I think that we definitely need to pursue this and stand our ground in this situation.
I have no objections to that. So with the motion made and seconded, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So carried. All right, the next new order of business is motion to approve or reject settlement offer of against David Driggers and Driggers, Inc., doing business as Alexander's versus the City of Laverne, doing business as the Laverne Beer Board. Does anyone care to make a motion on that?
I'll make a motion to reject the offer.
And I'll second that.
All right, do we have any discussion on this one?
Is there any, questions as to where this offer stands as far as, or, I'm sorry, are there any questions from our legal team as to what we need to do to continue to pursue this, to uphold our decision?
I'm not sure I understand your
I'm
question.
not either.
Is there anything that we need to do as a board to strengthen our position or, strengthen our position?
Well, I think the only thing that you have before you today is the offer they've made to settle the case. And if you accept it, then the case is settled and it's over. If you reject it, then it continues through the court system as it's set up now.
Okay.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, the next order, new business would be discussion on the beer ordinance, which was recommended by Mr. Jolly, who is not present. So therefore, I'd like to make a motion to defer that to the next meeting.
I'll second that.
All those in favor of deferring item 7?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. And do we have any other further business? Then call the meeting of the Beer Board adjourned.